Hello everyone, I welcome you to yet another lecture under Concept Clarity lecture series by Clarity for Sure and Agriclarity platform. And today's topic of discussion is phosphorus solubilizing bacteria, or in general you can say phosphorus solubilizing microorganisms. In that we will see the phosphorus solubilizing bacteria, some of the phosphorus solubilizing fungus. So without wasting any second, let's just start with our today's topic, that is phosphorus solubilizing microorganisms. Okay. So before that, let's discuss in brief what is the importance of phosphorus as nutrient. So we all know that NPK, that is nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium, are important micronutrients which decide the overall crop growth and development. We know the ratio we want, the ideal ratio for NPK is 4:2:1. So the phosphorus is the second essential macronutrient after nitrogen. Okay, so this is the two we are talking about. Okay, and they play vital role in overall plant growth and especially the root and reproduction phase. Okay, so phosphorus is important in early growth stages, involved in energy transfer. This is important, really important point. It is involved in energy transfer, photosynthesis, and nucleic acid synthesis. Okay, they promote the fibrous root development, then tillering and early flowering. They increase the resistance to diseases, they reduce the tendency to lodge in cereals, and also offset the harmful effects of nitrogen, excess nitrogen in the plant. Okay. Yes, phosphorus is really important. And with this fact, we as a farmer want to give the enough sufficient amount of these phosphorus to the crops, so there will be proper root development, there is a proper flowering, which in turn is giving us a good yields. Okay, so we want to ensure the proper supply of phosphorus, and anything which is hindering uh, that supply, we want to seek the solution for it, right? So yes, this is what the point of discussion or the motive of PSP is. Okay, so let's just see what we are talking here. So when you apply, let's suppose you applied around 100 kg of DAP, that is the source of phosphorus, diammonium phosphate, right? But the problem is here, the even though you applied around 100 kg of DAP, only 35 to 40 kg will be available to the roots, will be visible to the roots. Okay, and this is only going to get absorbed by the roots, and the remaining 55 to 60 kgs is unavailable form. It is going to get fixed in the soil, making it invisible for the roots. Okay, that is, it is going to be best if we are not doing anything. So what is our motive here? As I said, we want to make sure that the efficiency, the amount of fertilizer we applied, that we want to we want to ensure that there is 100% efficiency. At least there is more than 80 or 90% of efficiency. That is, if we applied 100 kg, then we want around 90 kg given is reached to the roots, or 100 kg is reached. Thus we want to reduce the wastage, we want to make sure that whatever we supplied is reaching the roots. But here there is an issue, there is a problem, that around 55 to 60 is getting fixed, is getting unavailable for the root. So here comes the PSB, that is phosphorus solubilizing bacteria, which are going to help us solve these problems. What they are doing, in short, what, or in simple language, they are going to make these unavailable form available by secreting different enzyme, different organic acids, and this way it will be available to the roots. So this is where it is helping us to convert this unavailable form into available form. And that is why these are important for us, and this is our topic of discussion today. So let's discuss one by one. So as I said, phosphorus in the soil, it is there, it is abundant in the soil, but it is invisible. It is not visible to the roots to take up, right? So the phosphorus in the soil is fixed. It is there, but it is fixed and making it insoluble, making it unavailable to the plants. Okay. So for that reason, for making it soluble, for making it available, available, we are incorporating phosphorus biofertilizers. Are going to do what? They are going to use some of the organic acids, some of the enzymes, or different mechanism to convert this insoluble phosphorus into plant accessible form. So yes, from the start we are saying this is available form and this is unavailable form. How we are distinguishing these two, right? So anything that we know, the every nutrient, every mineral has a chemical formula, right? And the phosphorus which is available in these two chemical forms, that is dihydrogen phosphate and monohydrogen phosphate, are called as available form, and anything other than these forms are unavailable. Okay, so what is our motive is we want to convert the phosphorus in this form because these are the only two which are visible to the roots, which are soluble, which are available to the roots. Okay, so the phosphorus is available to the roots in the chemical forms of this, that is H2PO4 minus and HPO4 2 minus. Okay, and for these two forms, we use collective term for both these is orthophosphatase. So H2PO4 and HPO4 collectively called as orthophosphatase, and they are the one which are available. Okay. So in short, our motive or the phosphorus solubilizing bacteria going to solve our problem by converting these unavailable phosphorus into available. Let's see how they are going to do this job for us. Okay, before that I am saying they are fixed. Okay, I am saying the phosphorus is fixed, I am saying it is unavailable, I am saying it is insoluble. What does that mean, or what is actually happening that is making it fixed? Okay, so this fixation is happening with the soil minerals. We know that we there is a soil pH. Okay, the main concept here is a soil pH. So we have acidic soil, we have alkaline soil, and we have a neutral soil. So what happens? These phosphorus is highly reactive. Okay, it is chemically reactive compound, which means it is always going to connect with someone. It is always going to go and bond with some of the soil minerals because it is highly reactive. So when the soil is acidic, it is going to go and react with this iron and aluminium, forming iron and aluminium phosphates, that is iron and aluminium phosphates, that is the complex is going to be created because the phosphate is highly reactive, and it is going to go and make a bond with these, forming iron and aluminium phosphate compounds. And in alkaline soil, phosphorus is going to go and make a bond, make a chemical reaction with these calcium, making calcium phosphates. Okay, so this is how it is fixed. How so? This is what I was talking about when I was saying the phosphorus is fixed. It reacted with iron and aluminium and formed compounds like iron phosphate and aluminium phosphate. It made a bond with calcium and created a compound called as calcium phosphate. Means it is locked. Okay, phosphorus is locked with these compounds, these soil minerals, making it invisible. Roots cannot able to see this because they made bonds with these. Okay, so what we want, so for obvious reason, what we want to do, we want to break these bonds. What is our motive, or the what phosphorus solubilizing bacteria are going to do, that they will break these bond, making the phosphorus available or visible to the roots. This is our motive. Let's say how they are doing this. So the first thing, okay, from these diagram, let's uh, try to understand what they are doing. Okay, so we applied phosphorus solubilizing bacteria in this. For just see, the phosphorus here is not visible, right? But these phosphorus solubilizing bacteria are going to enter the soil. They are going to secrete organic acids, and these organic acids react with the metal ions. The metal ions were what? Calcium, iron, aluminium. They are going to react on these metal ions to release the P. As I said, they are going to break that bond, making these P's available. Okay, and the H plus is showing that the process called acidification, that is they are going to lower the soil pH, which is making it disassociate from those soil minerals. Okay, so the first mechanism by which this phosphorus is made available is called as acid production. Okay, so these phosphate solubilizing microorganisms like Bacillus, Pseudomonas, Aspergillus are going to produce organic acids like gluconic acid, citric acid, lactic acid, and oxalic acid. And these organic acids are going to do what? They are going to lower the soil pH, which dissolves, which disassociate the phosphorus from calcium phosphate, iron phosphate, and aluminum phosphate. It is going to break this bond, making phosphate available to the making phosphate available or soluble, or they're converting that phosphorus into these forms. These are available phosphorus forms. Okay, this is simple, right? I don't want to further confuse you, so let's just jump to the second mechanism, that is enzyme activity. Okay, so this mechanism was for inorganic phosphorus, that is, we are applying like SSP, DAP, single superphosphate, diammonium phosphate. These are organic phosphorus, right? And for the this inorganic phosphorus that is fixed, this mechanism is going to release those phosphorus. But the organic phosphorus, for what? For organic phosphorus, these enzyme activity is the mechanism which is making available these organic phosphorus. So some microorganisms secrete the phosphatase enzyme. Okay, this is the key factor here. Okay, so phosphatase enzyme like acid and alkaline phosphatase, they are going to break down organic phosphorus compounds such as phytates or phospholipids, which are present in soil organic matter. As I said, these are organic phosphorus, that is soil OM, organic matter. And there are some compounds, phosphorus compounds like phytates, phospholipids, which are present in the soil organic matter, but they are unavailable. They are immobilized. They are not visible to the roots. But here comes the phosphorus solubilizing microorganisms to our help. They are going to help us by secreting phosphatase enzyme. Okay, they are going to secrete this phosphatase enzyme, which is going to break that bond, making it invisible, making it visible, making it available, making it soluble to the roots. Okay, and this process is called as a mineralization. The next is symbiotic association, or we called it as a mycorrhizae, the arbuscular mycorrhizal fungi. Okay, here the more it is not about the chemical dissociation, chemical bond breakage. Here the more focus is on increasing the root surface area. Okay, first most important thing is a symbiotic relationship. These mycorrhizae, these fungi are going to form a symbiotic relationship, that is, they are mutually benefited. The plant or the tree on which uh, it is feeding, it is going to get benefit, as they will gain the phosphorus, and the fungi is also benefited because it is going to get the sugar they're going to get the food from that host plant. Okay, so they form a symbiotic relationship with the plant roots. Okay, what fungi is doing, they are going to extend the hyphae deep into the soil, increasing roots effective surface area. They are going to absorb more for the roots, and in turn they are going to receive the sugar, the food from the host plant. So that is more of a increasing the surface area for the host plant. So this is the diagram simply. So this is a diagram which is going to conclude the mechanism part of the solubilizing bacteria. Okay, solubilizing fungi or algae. So just look at these. This is the phosphorus solubilizing fungi, this is phosphorus solubilizing bacteria, and this is phosphorus solubilizing algae, and this is cyanobacter. Okay. So these phosphorus solubilizing bacteria, as I said, they are going to secrete some of the organic acid which is going to drop the soil pH because of the hydrogen ions, making the phosphorus disassociated from the those iron, calcium, and aluminum, making it solubilized. Okay, right. Then phosphorus solubilizing fungi are going to secrete some carbonic acid, ammonium, ion, which are in turn going to help in phosphorus solubilization. Again, the hydrogen sulfide is released in some of the respiratory reactions of these microorganisms, which are again going to help indirectly solubilize the phosphorus. Okay, and the phosphorus solubilizing algae, the concept called siderophores, are going to act as a chelators, making the phosphorus available in the overall process. These are like ion attracting chelators. They are going to combine with they are always going to try and combine with the ion, forming ion complex, making the phosphorus free from that complex. That is the it will be it will be mineralized. Okay, it will be mineralized and will be visible to the roots. Okay, so that is simple. So these are the key organisms which are used for oral phosphorus in the phosphorus mobilizing process. Okay, so phosphate solubilizing bacteria, the examples are Bacillus megaterium, then Bacillus subtilis, Bacillus circulans, Pseudomonas striata, then fungi, Aspergillus avamori, penicillin species, then arbuscular mycorrhizae, glomus species, then ectomycorrhiza, Laccaria species, then ericoid mycorrhiza, the Iriaceae, then orchid mycorrhiza, solani. Okay, so these are the some of the examples. Go through it once because there are chances that they could give you a 4 or 5 options and will ask which of the following is not a phosphorus solubilizing bacteria or not a phosphorus solubilizing microorganism. Like, okay, so just go through it once. Then these are the limitations. Okay, even though it is really good for the phosphorus solubilizing and making available phosphorus to the roots, there are some limitation that we need to keep in our mind. Okay, so the first limitation is these microorganisms are pH sensitive. Okay, because they function best in the slightly acidic to neutral pH, that is 6.6 to 7.5, and it is necessary to maintain this pH for effective functioning of these phosphorus biofertilizers. Okay, because as I said, they function best in this pH range. So if it is less or more than this, there will be less efficiency, there will be less solubilization of phosphorus. Next is moisture requirement. It is obvious, right? They are biological agents and they require sufficient soil moisture to survive and multiply. And because of these dry and drought prone conditions, their populations are going to decline, reducing their effectiveness. Then again, the organic matter dependency, they thrive in rich organic matter. The more the organic matter is better and good for them because these organic matter serves as a food and energy source for these microorganisms. So if there is a poor soil, the soil with a poor carbon or organic matter, is going to offer a low microbial activity. Okay, so that's simple. The limitations we can sum up. They are sensitive to pH. We need to maintain pH in 6 to 7.5 for better efficiency. Then we need to maintain proper moisture. Then we need to maintain proper organic matter for their effectiveness. Okay, so yes, this was it for today. So we learned about phosphorus solubilizing microorganisms like bacteria, fungus, and algae. Okay, so there are different mechanisms. They do this process. They make available the phosphorus by secreting some acids, then secreting some enzymes like phosphatase, and the last one was they do again these things by forming symbiotic associations, right? And yes, these ways, with the help of these they are going to solubilize the unavailable form of the phosphorus. So this was it for today. Thank you